And today's What's on My Mind is a very serious topic that has been on my mind for a while now. As I get into the world of buying bigger things and I get into my 30s more, I'm going to need you guys to start showing me your bank statements. Like, I'm going to need people to start either giving me a disclaimer or showing their bank statements. And I know I cannot be alone because in this economy, the way that people are like popping up, showing that they bought a house on Instagram and did reno while still living in their old apartment. And how, Sway? Like, I just need answers because as I dive into this world a little bit more, I'm just like, oh, okay, that's expensive. And so like, I don't know. I can't be the only one that questions and wants to see people's bank statements. If I am, I will die on this hill alone. But if you're with me, please do let me know. Did everyone make the right moves in their 20s or am I missing something? Did I make the wrong moves? I just need some answers. Is there something I'm missing? Is it generational wealth? Because if it is, slay. And I'm saying all of this, no hater. Like if you figured it out, that is amazing. If you're getting help, because that's what generational wealth is all about, and I support it, great. But I don't know if it's social media. Also, the way that you guys are going to all these concerts too, like there's a list of things that I'm seeing happening on social media that I'm like, how? You guys be on the floor at Beyonce and then just like got a house? But no, seriously. When I see all of this happening, I'm like, is this all real? Is it? I know social media sometimes be selling us things that are not real. I hope that it's real. I hope that everyone's doing great. Like, again, I want everyone to be doing well. If you're getting the help, even better. If you're doing it by yourself, even a bigger slay. But yeah, I don't know. That's been heavy on my mind. And it goes perfectly into my conversation today where I talk with Chelsea Vaughn, the one, the only, lifestyle and fashion creator, about navigating our 30s, wedding etiquette, all those things that dive into adulthood. But I need you guys to let me know in the comments before we get into this episode if you feel me on any of what I just said or if I'm alone. If I'm alone, I will take that. I will become one with that. But I don't even know. Let's just get into the episode.
Thank you so much for having me.
I asked my followers who I should have on the podcast, and you came in more than once. And so I was like, we have to have her on.
I am honored. Shout out to your followers. Hi, guys.
But it's funny because I've come across your profile multiple times and you have this very cool girl aesthetic. Like you want to hang out with you, but we want to get behind all of that. Like, Who is Chelsea behind the aesthetic, behind the fashion? But you do show some of your personality, which we much appreciate.
I try. Yeah. It's more on my stories than in the feed.
So we start every podcast episode with the starting 5 questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What's a fashion trend or statement that you want to make in 2025?
Okay, this is what I was telling you about before we started. I feel like this year I've decided I kind of want to do more like staples and putting things together as a capsule wardrobe versus like wearing trendy things. Yeah. Because that really doesn't last well. And then I'm like blazers and like skirts and staple tops like can go with everything and mix and match. And I also like tend to be a little bit of a hoarder when it comes to clothes. Yes. So I'm trying to have less.
Yeah, I'm doing the same exact thing right now. You're way ahead of me, but I'm just like, I need a capsule wardrobe. I need more. I don't have any basics.
I don't really either.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I just so much color. And I'm like, I'm also not a colorful person, which doesn't make sense beyond what the set says.
You sure?
But I have I love wearing like basic white tops. And I feel like you could also mix and match, as you were saying. Like, and I don't have that. So
I know. I just bought a bunch of stuff from ASOS because that's my store.
Yeah, it's a good one. Okay, so what's your go-to toxic trait? So like, are you looking through Venmo transactions? Like, I'm a possessive friend. So like when I see my friends hanging out with other friends, I admittedly be like, okay, I'm a little toxic. I don't like this.
I think my toxic trait is that I don't think I have any toxic traits. Like, I think that I'm always right and I think that I'm perfect.
I love the self-awareness.
Yeah, that's probably a little toxic on my end.
I like that. I'm going to probably take that answer for the future. Whenever I'm on another podcast, I'm probably going to say that.
Yeah.
Okay, what does a day off look like for you?
A day off. You know, I love a good rot day.
So
where I will literally sit in my bed, watch Love is Blind for 6 hours straight.
Yes.
and order delivery.
I have that on my queue because the new season is out.
That's what I just did. Yeah, on Sunday I had a raw day. Those are my favorite like day offs kind of. Or if I'm like feeling energetic, I'll do like a Pilates class in the morning. And then once I work out in the morning, I'm like, okay, now I'm healthy today. So I want to have like a good lunch. And then I'm like out and about and I'll try a place that I haven't tried in New York.
Yeah.
Like those are my favorite kind of like explore days.
I love that. What's a social media pet peeve?
That's a good question. People don't really bother me that much on social media.
I wish that was the case. Everyone needs to embody that.
Like even the trolls, I find it entertaining.
Yeah.
I love when people, this is not a pet peeve, this is just like what I love. I love when people get comments from trolls and then they'll like put them on blast on their stories so that the rest of us can see what's going on and they'll roast them.
But I'm like, I feel like the trolls want that.
More attention?
So, yeah, they want that. They want you to put them on blast because then they get more attention, I think.
With their username and everything?
I don't know. Because I'm like, you're putting yourself out there by dropping that comment.
I don't think they think that though. I think they think like, oh, they're never going to see it. They have so many followers. And then like once you put them on blast. I'm thinking of a pet peeve though. I guess when like people say that they have an announcement.
Yeah.
And then they don't tell you what the announcement is.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, you guys, I know I've been teasing this. And like I have this huge project coming up. Yeah. And then, I don't know, you never hear about it. Or like,
you never hear about it. That's the crazy. I did do that once. Now that I'm thinking about it, I did do a story where I was like, and then the project never manifested itself and never came out. So I'm probably... Sorry. Yeah. Okay. What's a memorable DM or comment that you've received?
I love when people tell me that I like made an impact on their life.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Obviously. Yeah. But I shaved my head during the pandemic and I had a lot of people like DM me and say that like they shaved their head because of me. Oh, wow. Because they saw that I looked good when I was bald and they're like, you gave me the courage to do it. And I was like, that's something I'll remember forever. Also, I did a podcast episode about freezing my eggs. Yeah. And I had people literally say they froze their eggs because of me. I'm like, that's insane.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that.
And what I love about your content, getting right into the conversation, is that it's like you don't have a niche. You're kind of just giving all of yourself.
Oh,
yeah.
Thanks.
Like, it's not like, oh, she's just fashion. Like, you're freezing your eggs, you're going to share that. You shave your hair, you're going to share that. Like, it's Chelsea. It's not like this one particular thing.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. I really appreciate that because sometimes I feel like I'm like, I need a niche. Like I need to have direction for my brand. And I'm like, the brand is me. Yeah. I could embrace that more. But.
Well, I'm breaking out of that. I feel like I was so focused on having a niche and I feel like that was a career. And it's like, there's so much more to me beyond my career. Yeah. And every time I share something else, people are like, wait, we want to see more of that. So, and I feel like you do a really good job at that.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. I don't want to like get trapped in a box. Yeah. And I feel like because I came from like a dating show, it was like people wanted to see that and talk, like hear about that and hear about my dating life in general. Yeah. And so then I felt like I got stuck in it because it was like, if I'm not talking about dating, like they don't care what I'm doing. Yeah.
But what's crazy? I Googled you for like interviews to prepare and it was like dating came up so much.
It's all dating.
Yeah. And I was like, don't worry, there's no dating questions here. Phew. So if we asked your friends what are 3 words to describe Chelsea, what would they say?
Oh. Silly.
Okay.
Curious. I ask a lot of questions. My best friend always tells me I have so many questions. She literally told me the other day, she was like, sometimes I feel like I have to remember that I'm not on trial when I talk to you. I was like, okay, that doesn't sound like a good thing. I'm a curious girl. Yeah. What else? Maybe brave. Just because I feel like I'm not afraid to like go after what I want and like I've taken a little bit of a different career path than other people. So yeah.
I like that you said the curious part. Are you the person that like before you agree to plans or you do agree to plans, you're like having to ask a million questions like who's there, what time,
who's not going to be there,
who's not going to be there? Like, are you that friend?
Yeah. And then when we get there, I'm like the friend that's asking hypothetical questions. Like I'm like, if we were on a stranded island or like, what's your superpower that you would want to have? Like it's just random stuff that pops into my head.
Yeah. I read online that you were learning Spanish.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you got through learning Spanish good enough?
No.
Did you stick to it?
No, I've been learning Spanish
Yeah.
for the past like few years, I feel like. And well, one thing I need to get over is being embarrassed because I feel like I'm embarrassed to speak it. At this point, I feel like I have a good vocab built and I can understand more.
Yeah.
The speaking part is the problem.
Yeah.
So this is, well, I haven't really said this officially, but I decided to move to Mexico City.
Oh my God.
This summer.
Yes.
Because I feel like I need to really immerse myself in it to actually become fluent.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
That's amazing. I've had friends move to Mexico City. They're still there. They loved it so much that they're still there.
I've heard that from so many people.
Yeah. It's beautiful. And then, you're definitely going to learn Spanish even more there.
Yeah. A lot of people said that it's giving similar vibes to New York too.
Yeah.
And it's like a walkable city, great food. So yeah, I'm excited when my lease is up.
I love Mexico City. Wait, so what made you make this decision? This is huge.
It was a bit on a whim.
Yeah.
I think I was just kind of at a place where I was like, I have a really flexible job and career, and I should take advantage of that. Like, I don't have anyone that's depending on me right now. I don't even have a dog. Like, I've got nothing tying me here, and April will be my 10 years in New York.
Wow.
So I think I'm just like a little bored.
Yeah.
And I also just am ready for change and kind of like a pivot.
You know what's so funny? I have a question here of like, you're not from New York.
Right.
And so I was going to ask you, like, do you see yourself in New York for such a long time? And the answer is no.
I mean, I don't think I'm done. I'll be back.
No, of course. Yeah.
But yeah, I think when I was growing up, I kind of always just had New York in my sights. It was always, I'm going to move to New York. I'm going to be a model. I'm going to work in fashion.
Yeah.
So that was always my plan. And then when I got here, I didn't really have anything planned beyond that. Like I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to stay forever, or oh, it's only going to be a few years or whatever. But I do kind of think New York's like a young person thing where it's like, okay, I'm going to live in New York when I'm going out all the time, meeting new people and dating, and it's really expensive, but like you only have this time in your life once. But yeah, one of my best friends, she's from Ecuador. She lives in Atlanta, and she's kind of like at the same point as me, where we both have flexible jobs that can be remote. And so we're gonna go to Mexico City together.
You're both doing it. I was gonna ask if you're going solo. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be so
I love
fun.
that. I feel like that happens when you like get into your 30s. That happened for me. Like I was born and raised in New York, and I was just like, I need to get out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Is this like, and the beauty of like, I think the pandemic made us realize this is that you don't have to be in one place.
Yeah.
And you can always go back. Like just because you move somewhere doesn't mean that you have to stay there.
Right.
And so I moved to Miami, and now I'm like
nice.
always in New York because I have friends and family here, shoot the podcast here sometimes. So, and then as I mentioned, I had friends that moved to Mexico City and friends just all over the place now. That's just amazing. I feel like once we all hit 30, we were like, okay.
Yeah. And I'm just like, there's not going to be another time in my life where I have this opportunity, likely.
Yes.
Like if I don't know, have responsibilities or kids or whatever. And so I'm just like, I gotta take advantage right now.
I love that.
And I kind of want to just like be a nomad.
Yeah.
Because once I put my stuff in storage, then it's like, well, okay, after Mexico City, I could go to Paris for a month or London for a month or Portugal. Like, I just want to bob around.
I'm excited to follow along.
I know it's going to make the content more interesting too, because I'm just like, come with me in
and
my 30s.
Show us your Spanish skills too.
I know. I've got to, a little more practice before I go on Instagram with
So
Spanish.
when you hear like Bad Bunny, do you understand what he's, do you get like...
No, it's too fast.
That's too fast for you. Okay.
I need someone to speak to me incredibly slowly.
One day, yeah. Don't worry. I always say like my Spanish is not 100% there. It's like I can understand, I can defend myself, I can hold a conversation, but I say a lot of words wrong. So yeah.
That's gonna be me. That's the only way to learn. Yeah.
So do you ever get tired of like posting so much of your life? Is there ever like a moment where you're like, this is exhausting? And have you had that moment at all? Because I feel like sharing to how much you share, like you're taking us through the events that you attend and things that you try out. Is it ever reach a point where you're just like, I'm tired, exhausted? What do you do in those moments?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely times where I feel a little burnt out. And I also feel like it comes with a pressure of like, well, this is my job, so I feel like I have to share even if I am not in the mood to. And then I think there's a layer of like, I've struggled with like the fine line of how much to share, because some of it's like, okay, this is just for me, or this I'm going to share with everyone. And then because my brand is me, then it's kind of like, I feel like I have to share everything in order to be authentic. I had this conversation with my therapist because she was like, you don't have to share everything. Like, that doesn't mean you're not authentic just because you keep some things just for you. I was like, okay, that's true. Because I was like struggling when I first gained a following, and then I was like, okay, I have to share everything. I have to say everything. And she's like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, I love that.
And I think that's what got me to the point of being like, okay, now I feel a little burnout, and then I'll just like disappear. Like I'll just disappear for a week, and then I pop back on, and I'm like, you know what? That's a pet peeve on social media when people are like, guys, I'm taking a break for a while.
I've said that before. I've said that before on here. Like, just leave.
I've done it too. Yeah. I've done it too.
We're aware here. We're aware of ourselves. We can say things like, I can say that I've teased, I have something coming.
Yeah. I feel like only if you're going to be gone for quite a while, then announce the break.
I think I said that on the first episode of this podcast, where it drives me crazy, where I was like, no one would have noticed.
Yeah.
If you're going to leave for a week, no one was going to notice. Maybe there's one person that would have noticed.
No, to be honest, when I was filming the reality show, I was gone for a whole month from my phone. I couldn't tell anyone while I was gone, and nobody noticed. So I really don't think I need to announce the breaks.
Yeah, no one's noticed that you're gone. Sorry.
I think one person DM'd me and was like, hey girl, you good?
Yeah. I want to try that out. I'm like, would someone notice if I left?
I don't think I've left.
Yeah, I don't think I've left for enough time, which is like,
yeah. I'm kind of jealous of people that are like, some of my friends that are not creators will just be like, yeah, I deleted the app off my phone. Like, I took Instagram off for a month, or like I deleted TikTok.
My husband does it, and I'm just like, I'm so jealous. Sometimes like he's like, I want to focus on work and like working out and fitness and stuff. He's like, I deleted Instagram for a little, and I'm like, I wish.
Yeah. But do you ever feel like if you're not like churning out content, then you're gonna be like left behind?
Yes, like you're gonna miss out on this moment, or like miss out on an opportunity, or people are gonna lose their interest in you.
And I feel like my insights, like everything is gonna go down, and then it's like I have to start back over when I come back in a month. And I don't know if that's necessarily true, but that's how it feels.
And then when you do well on one piece of content, you feel like you have to keep going because now you've picked up this momentum, and it's like,
Yeah. It's like the algorithm punishes you when you come back. They're like, you were gone for a month. You're not getting any views.
Are we spiraling right now?
No, I think that's true.
Do we need help right now? Blink twice, both of us. Okay, what I love that you are also very open about navigating your 30s. I feel like we're all of us that are in our 30s have so much that we realize that it's like, oh, okay. And then you also, in your TikTok bio, made me die. It's like childless and unmarried in my 30s, and I've made it, something like that. Or
I said unmarried, childless woman who didn't die at 30 or something. Yes. I don't know what I said.
Yeah, and didn't die.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yes, thank you, because I'm married, but like childless and like still figuring things out too. I was like talking about this with my friends actually yesterday, where it's like there's so much pressure to like own property and like be in a house, and it's like, why?
Yeah.
Just because like you reach 30.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you, what's the most I'm in my 30s now thing that has happened to you, or like you realized lately?
Ooh. I think just like having my own apartment in Manhattan. Like, I feel like that was an I made it moment, and like, not to brag, but I have a washer dryer in my unit.
In New York City, that is a big deal. That is an I made it moment.
Okay. Yeah. So like I lived by myself in Brooklyn for a little bit before that, but it was like, this is like my big girl, like I call it my Carrie Bradshaw apartment. So I feel like that's really, I don't know. And then I saw this one TikTok where this girl was saying like she was the first person in her family, like in first generation in her family, that was a woman that lived by herself, like that was allowed to live by herself.
Yeah.
And like that sounds crazy because you're like, oh, like that was a million years ago when women couldn't have credit cards or like live alone. And then I thought about it, and I was like, Mom, have you ever lived alone? And she was like, no. And I was like, wait, I'm the first generation. It's me.
Oh, wow. I didn't process that's crazy. That. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Because she just went straight into marriage and kids, and
from like living with my mom too. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't. You just made me realize something. Mind blown. I'm like, wait, I actually, and I was saying that to my family. I'm like, oh, I had a moment where I had roommates and I like lived with girlfriends. So it's like, oh, wow.
It's like we're the first generation that can live alone because you want to as a woman.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's very powerful.
And what's one thing you thought you would have figured out by now that you're just like, I have, and it's okay.
There's a lot more than one thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, probably a husband. I thought I might have one of those by now. I still feel like a little Like, when people make jokes about like being a child bride, they're like, I'm 32, but like I would be a child bride if I got married right now. I still feel very like not immature, but like young spirited.
Yeah.
So like, I don't feel like I'm ready to have a child or be responsible for a human being.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think when I was younger, I thought like I would get married late 20s.
Same
I'd
here.
have some kids by now. And it really snuck up fast. Like I'm just like, this is really young.
Yeah.
Like I'm older than my mom was when she had 3 children already.
And I'm like, how did you do that?
I don't know.
Like, how
Couldn't
did
be
you?
me.
Yeah. Because me and my husband joke about that all the time where we're like, if we have kids, we're going to be children with kids.
Yeah. It's like, and then you realize that your parents were like just growing up with you.
Yeah. That's when you realize that they still are growing up with you, which is insane. So you get a text and it's like, hey girl, let's go out like we used to. Are you on board or are you like, whoa, no?
Depends on who that text came from.
That's good. Yeah.
Because my college girls, I'm like, oof, I'm a little too old now. It hurts. I can't go out the same. It's me and my best friend. This happened like last week.
Yeah.
We had we called it like a college night.
Yeah.
It wasn't on purpose. It was an open bar during fashion week and we had a lot of martinis and she was hungover until like 8 p.m. the next day.
Yeah.
We haven't had one of those nights in a while, but she had texted me after and was like, yeah, once a year, like annually, we can do this, but not more than that. One time.
That happened for me for my birthday. And I was like, why did I party like I was in my early 20s?
No.
Where I woke up and I was confused as to like where the night went. And I was like, I have not done this since I was like 25.
Yeah.
And I'm celebrating my 32nd birthday.
Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, most of the time I feel like I have an off switch. Like I'll be like, I'll have 2 drinks, then I'll be like, okay, like that's enough. Like I'm all set. And then there's certain days where I just forget and I'm just like, let's go.
Yeah.
It was one of those nights, but it was a blast.
And what do you find better in your 30s than you did in your 20s? Because I feel like I love my skincare, my hair now more than ever, which people usually are like vice versa.
Yeah.
What do you?
I think I've always been like a minimalist when it comes to like makeup, hair, like all that. Like I'm kind of a low maintenance girly when it comes to that stuff. But I think in my 30s now, it's kind of like I found the joy in putting the effort in. You know?
Yeah, that's
like it's nice to treat yourself well.
Yes.
Like I like to buy myself things. I like to make my apartment nice. I like to romanticize it all.
Yep.
Like I like to on Sundays do a whole little spa day with an everything shower and like deep conditioner and a face mask, like all that. I feel like that's a good self-love thing.
You like soak it in more in your 30s. Yeah.
Like light a candle. It's like I bought all this shit for myself. Like this is
I was like, I'm cooking in my like Our Place pan and it just feels like it feels just more real, like cooking. Like I made spicy rigatoni the other day and I was like, why does this feel so like adult?
I'm so fancy. I'm such an adult.
I'm so fancy.
Yeah. I also just like love being at home.
Yeah.
I feel like I've always been kind of a homebody, but I think it just hits different when it's just like this is all from scratch from like me. Like I started this place blank. This is like my first apartment where I like really came in and did everything myself. Like it's all my decor, it's all my everything because I've lived with partners in the past and it's like cool to live with a boyfriend, but you have to take their opinion into consideration, unfortunately.
Oh no, you don't. We can pretend to take their opinions in.
Yeah. And it's like you can't make everything pink if you wanted to. And now I'm in an apartment where
that's
I'm like,
true. Yes, you can't do that, but
everything that I want to be pink is pink. Nobody had to co-sign my decisions. Taylor Swift's on the wall, like whatever I want.
Yeah.
I
love that for you. So weddings are coming up for many people in 2025. And you said in one of your Instagram posts, if you tell me to bring the energy at your wedding, I can't be held responsible for what happens next. So I feel like we need to tap into this topic for a little bit about wedding etiquette because, you know, people are going to go up to their weddings this year. So what type of wedding guest are you? Oh, are you on the dance floor? Are you at the bar?
I'm a blast. I'm at all those places.
She's everywhere all at once.
Yeah. That post was from like last fall and I had 5 friends get married last fall.
Yeah. And that's why I was like, I feel like you got this.
A pro wedding guest.
Yeah.
At this point. I did a whole tour. My best friend got married in Italy and another friend got married from that post in Oklahoma. And then there was one in Atlanta. And then there was one, I'm forgetting one, Canada.
Wow. So you were that's what I'm saying. There's like a difference between being a wedding guest in like one city, but you were.
Yeah, no, it was a world tour.
You were doing the world tour. So you have experience like no other.
Of course, there was none locally, none in New York. I've literally never been invited to a wedding in New York. But yeah, I'm a big dance floor girl. I'm a big foodie. And a lot of the weddings I went to were outdoors, which I love.
Yeah.
And it was October, so like the weather was perfect.
And it feels nice and brisk, yeah.
A lot of them were black ties, so I got to like dress up.
Ooh.
But yeah, I'm a good time.
Are you re-wearing the same outfits to the weddings, or you try to?
I didn't. I rented a couple of dresses because like I don't have that many black tie gowns in my closet, believe it or not, in my studio apartment. So I rented some things, and then I was gifted some things. But like it was it was my first time going to Italy, and so I made like a whole 2-week trip out of it.
I love it. Yeah.
And so I had a whole schedule planned out in my notes app of all the outfits I was wearing.
And what's important to you as a wedding guest? Like, are you like, I'm hoping, well, because it's not what you need, it's what they want to give you. But like, are you hoping for good food? Do you need a specific song played?
I think music, it needs to be top tier.
Yeah.
And most of these like weddings I went to were some of my closest friends. So it's like we danced on the dance floor the same thing. So it was nice. I'm a big DJ girl versus band. How do you feel about that?
So I did both DJ and band.
Oh.
Yeah. But I like invested more in the DJ than the band. I love a good DJ because I love being able to like go through all the ranges of music. Like, yeah.
How do you do DJ and band? Like what did the band do?
So the band came in for like maybe 30 minutes and did like a few songs and then left. But it's because I'm Latina. So like they came and did some like traditional genre stuff for the older folks, which ended up being a blast and everyone was in it. But because at that point everyone was really drunk. Yeah. So yeah. But I'm team DJ too. Because you just get to hear it all. And I like to think I have range when it comes to music taste. So like I need pop, I need reggaeton, I need a little bit of hip hop,
Yeah, I don't have range. It's pop for me and maybe some R&B, but R&B is not really like wedding vibes.
Well, during dinner we had R&B vibes playing. Yeah,
that makes sense.
We had the whole Alicia Keys, all that stuff.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I like when people do like a string quartet or like live music when they walk down the aisle for the ceremony. I feel like that's really pretty.
We did a string quartet from my phone.
From your phone?
No, we just had one of those songs in the acoustic like violin version play because those things add up.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was like, I'm going to have a violin player, like someone play while I'm walking down. And then when we got the bill, I was like, it's okay. We will
Never mind.
We will play that for my phone.
Yeah, I think DJ and food are probably my two most important as a guest.
And what's an ick for you when you're like attending weddings, like from other guests, like behaviors?
I don't know. I feel like I just love love. Like I love the whole vibe. I love weddings. I love being a guest. Maybe when they like don't think about the single people. Like obviously it's a wedding. It's your wedding. You like do whatever you want.
Yeah. Do whatever you want. We're making that disclaimer very known. Like it's not about us, but maybe someone can walk away with some.
But like don't play a bunch of songs where like you need to dance in a couple. You know what I mean? Like that'll clear a dance floor faster than anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe I was just thinking about myself, but I was a very single wedding guest at all these weddings. And then, this is a good one. The +1 thing. Can we talk about the +1 thing?
Oh my God, let's please.
Because I haven't been married, obviously. Yeah. So like, I don't know the whole etiquette behind the +1, but it feels kind of like if you're single and then you're not allowed to bring one, and I'm talking, you're a really good friend or like you're in the wedding party, not a random guest. It just kind of feels like they're like, you're not important enough to bring somebody with you.
Yeah.
To me, I understand weddings cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like if you're in the wedding party and you spent a bunch of money on this person's wedding, like you should be allowed to bring someone.
Yeah. I feel like that was a lesson I learned the hard way and I kind of regret it after because I didn't allow that. And it was just because like there were multiple single people in my wedding party. And then it was like once you allow one, then it becomes like a whole thing. But I will be honest and I'll say like afterwards, I was like, damn, I should have maybe given them that.
Yeah.
Because again, as you said, like you're investing so much time, energy.
Money.
And I had a destination wedding.
Yeah.
So maybe this is my public apology to my wedding party. I'm very sorry for not allowing you a +1.
Yeah. Because I went to like Italy So it was like,
Oh, that's a big one though. Okay, wait.
and I was
See,
like, can I bring?
I was like in the Caribbean. So
I
like
was in Italy alone.
Yeah, Italy I think is a little wild.
And I was in the wedding party.
Yeah.
If my best friend's watching this, she knows how I feel.
Sorry.
No, but it did work out though, because like I was worried about being like the one, like the only single person there. But I feel like this is probably like TMI, but there were like hot single guys at almost all these weddings that I ended up having a time with.
Yeah. Well, that's how I made myself feel better about the decision, because I was like, oh, maybe the single people will like vibe with the single people.
Yeah.
Like,
if there were single people. Like some of them, it was like there were just no single people.
Yeah.
Like it was just like 2 bridesmaids and like maybe 2 guys that are going to be single at the whole wedding. And it was like, okay, well,
that's something now for people to consider. Wedding party deserves a +1, especially if you're making them fly across an ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't think I want to have a wedding party. I feel like I used to think like, oh my God, it'd be so nice. But like
It gets
now,
messy.
there's so much drama.
It's a lot of drama.
You can't have one without there being.
It's like, who's more important? My best friend right now is planning her wedding and she doesn't have a wedding party.
I just think it kind of lends itself to like ranking your friends.
It is.
And I don't really like that. It's like MySpace all over again.
And it's so many different personalities, and like someone might want to take over more on the planning, and then it's kind of like, who loves her more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a weird
like, who's gonna do more for her? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. Especially when like I have friends, really close friends from so many different time periods in my life. So it's like, how could you compare your childhood best friend to your sister, like to your college best friend? It's like they're all very different relationships. And I'm not trying to have my friends be pitted against. It's just weird.
Yeah. I'm team. I understand when someone's like, I don't want to do a wedding party for sure. Because we're doing it right now with my best friend, and it's like, it's been very beautiful, the journey without a wedding party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like maybe a maid of honor.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, like you guys can sit in the front row.
Yeah.
We all know you guys are my best friends. It's okay. We don't have to rank you.
Just choose all the people you want to go on The Bachelorette, and that's it. And no one's
feeling
competing. Becomes a whole reality television show. Is it okay to leave before the cake cutting? Are you like, do you have an Irish exit plan? When are you like, I'm done?
As a guest?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm never done. I'm the last
You're
person.
like the last person out.
Yeah. I'm literally the last person there. I'm requesting the last song.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving. And if it's my wedding, like I feel like a lot of times the bride and groom will be like, we're doing our exit, like we're leaving. I'm not leaving my wedding before
I didn't
before
leave.
the party's over.
No, I didn't leave until everyone left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I'm gonna be the last one there when I'm the bride and when I'm not the bride.
No, I feel you so much. I'm always one of the last to leave as well. I'm like, I'm gonna enjoy this time. I got dressed up. Like if you're having a good party, I'm gonna stay there for a really long time. I don't think
if it's a good wedding.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever Irish exited a wedding.
I'm not really an Irish exit girl in general.
I've become one because my husband's one.
Oh.
Yeah. So I picked up on that, unfortunately. But sometimes he gets a little crazy and he like wants to Irish exit our like best close friends. And I'm like, we can't do that. They'll like text me like, where did you go? Hello. Yeah. All right. So what's coming up next for you? What's in the future? Besides your big move, which I'm very excited to follow along on, like what can we look forward to? What can we get a sneak preview of?
To be completely honest, I feel like I'm at a weird career point.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I kind of fell into the influencer creator space. And I like it. Like I do genuinely like being a creative, and I've always been a creative person in one way or another.
Yeah.
But I kind of like am not a huge fan of being an influencer.
Okay. I love this.
Which I think is so funny because on the show that I went on, everyone's like, no one's there for love. Like everyone just goes on to be an influencer. And I'm like, I actually didn't really want this. It kind of just happened.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for it. It's a very cool, flexible job with a lot of perks. But it kind of puts me in a weird space where I'm just like right now I just switched management teams. And I'm like, I want to do more things. Like I want to do different things. And I kind of feel like I don't know how to explain that to people.
Yeah.
And then the managers that I'm getting are for digital. So then it's like, they all kind of are like, brand deals. And I'm like, I want to do something else, but I don't know what that something else is.
Yeah, so you're figuring that out.
Yeah, so I'm in like a little bit of a transition, figuring it out state, where I don't have any projects coming up for you.
No, I love that because we all have those phases, and that's a real answer because we go through these like, what's next for me? And it's figuring it out and taking your time versus like jumping onto something just because it's available to you.
Yeah. I do think that I want to kind of do more speaking. Like I haven't really done any speaking engagements or like public speaking, like panels. Like I would love to do more of that and kind of connect more with my audience in person.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what I want to lean into this year, and also just to like put it out there in the universe. I'm applying for Sports Illustrated swimsuit.
Yes.
Yes,
let's manifest that for you.
I would like to be a rookie.
So do you want to dive more into modeling? Do you want to start your own company?
I think
not that you have to have the answer. We're figuring that out.
I think the modeling, that was kind of always like my aspiration and goal before moving here. And then I got to a point where I was like, wow, I like made it. And like I did a lot of the things that I always dreamed about doing. And then it was after that where I was kind of like, oh, I didn't think about what I was going to do after modeling.
Yeah.
And so like that's kind of the point that I'm in right now. Like I still will always love modeling, and I kind of miss runway. And so I'm open to that if modeling stuff comes up.
Yeah.
But it's not really my focus.
I love that you're looking down at everything versus just like riding the wave and letting things happen to you. You're kind of taking that step back to think like, what can I do for myself too?
Yeah. I just want to like do something that feels a little bit more fulfilling.
Yeah.
Like when I had my podcast, I felt like I was putting good out into the world. Not that I'm not with my content.
Yeah.
I do still feel like that. But sometimes it's just like, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, is this helping anyone? Is this changing anything? Is this anything? Like, I'm just like, same old, same old. I don't want to keep posting my links to my sweatshirt, you know?
Yeah.
Like sometimes it feels like that.
Yeah.
But my audience is great, and like they'll be like, no, like you inspire me, and like
and they're gonna follow you along whatever you do.
Yeah. I have to remind myself that it's like it's not putting pressure on myself to be like whatever.
That's why I said it's amazing. I think you're setting an example for like, again, that I think everyone focuses, and here's the tip: find your niche, find your niche, find your niche. But then that like kind of boxes you into like just sharing links. Like if your niche is like beauty products, then you're just having to share like that sweater or like what concealer you're wearing today, versus like if they're following you as a whole, then they get to follow you along your journey no matter where that takes you. Yeah. And I saw a content creator the other day, she like went back to corporate, and she was just like, I loved the stability of corporate, and I felt like it made me more organized and on top of my content, so I can do both. But like she felt like when she was just a content creator, she would lack a lot of discipline. And so like it was amazing to see that other side of someone saying like, oh, I went back to corporate because I feel like it gives me the discipline to be a good content creator. Yeah,
that's actually very much how I feel. Because I was in corporate fashion before I started doing modeling full time. But I do think it's really hard to have that discipline and like the scheduling and the stability of like, it's hard to do that for yourself when you're a content creator, because there's nobody that's going to be like, here's a deadline for this, or like, you need to do this today. It's kind of just like loose, and you have to create those lines for yourself. And that's something that's like really hard for me.
And then you're having to do like these days in the life, and then you have nothing planned for the day.
Well, it's New York. There's always like an event or something. But it's like I watch people that are like, on Mondays I shoot, on Tuesdays I edit, on this, and I'm just like, that's not me. I'm all over the place. I need to be better about like scheduling, but But
that's what this podcast is all about. And that's why I love that you're sharing this, because I feel like when people even go on podcasts, it's like, I wake up at 5. And like they're trying to think of like the best answer, which like makes sense, right? Like you do want to sound your best, but like there's also real sides to everything. And it's like some people are actually going through like, what's next for me? And I'm not waking up at 5. I'm waking up at 10:30.
No, can confirm.
I am not waking up I roll out of bed sometimes. I literally roll out of bed and go into a meeting. No camera on.
I do that too. No, I need like something on the schedule to start the day so I can force myself out of bed. And I've started
We're trying to be better.
with my phone in the bathroom so that I'm forced to
that's a good one.
And turn off the alarm.
I keep saying I'm going to do that and start leaving my phone in the kitchen.
Like away.
Well, we'll check in the future. Well, thank you, Chelsea, for being here.
Thank you.
And letting us get to know you a little bit more. Loved having you.
Thank you so much.
Where can everyone follow you?
On Instagram, and I also am trying to do more YouTube.
Ooh.
But it's all at Chelsea Vaughn.
Yes.
And at Chelsea Vaughn _ on TikTok and YouTube.
And we'll have all the links down in the description. And thank you so much, Chelsea, again. Thank you everyone for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye.